Wake up and good morning again, good people. This morning has returned. Thank you for staying here with us, and we're going to get you right in the know with even more. The St. Lucia Archaeological and Historical Society has taken a new life. They're revamping, it's a rebirth, and they're doing a lot. But we have a few friends from there who are about to tell you what is new, exciting, and what is to come with the society.
Jade Hutchinson. I'm the floor member on the Ideal Society. The new mandate of the society is to go beyond the preservation of stones and bones. The idea is we have our culture, our history, our music, our food. So we're looking at these sorts of things and making sure that they're there for the longer term. I'm not sure if you know about the Dennery segment, the Lacomet rhythm. A lot of that music, if it wasn't for the preservation of our music, that probably would never have Dennery segment. So moving forward, the society is looking at trying to make sure that we not only preserve our history, but we try to find ways to make it interesting and try to show that there's also economic value in what we preserve. So can someone take that information and create something which then they can live off moving forward? One of our first events is the Petroglyph Tour. We start at Margaret Tooth in Soufrière, then we go into Stonefield, Jalousie, and then Balenbush. The idea is to go see some of the ancient writings of the Amerindians, and these tell a story. And the idea is, the more you can understand that sort of information, the more you can learn about the history of the country, and that you can use to better build yourself going forward. Over the last few months, we've had a couple of archaeologists in the island where we've been able to geotag where these locations are. So now, using that information, in the coming 3 to 6 months, we will actually be doing a few more exhibitions and a few more interesting ways of showing that history and telling that story and trying to create an experience that not only tells us what it used to be like before, but how we could take that information, use that food, and create new things, create new foods, create new ways of showing that information to make sure everyone else can find value in it.
My name is Laurent Jean-Pierre, better known as Jomo. I am the Archaeological Secretary at the St. Lucia Archaeological and Historical Society, better known as A&H. Well, the society is on the rebound. It has been a little dormant for a little while, and for the past 2 years there has been a new change of the guards, so to speak. And our new executive, our president, vice president, and more young people we've brought into the mix, so that we could take the society into the modern age, bring more young people in, not just looking at like stones and pottery and bones and shells. That's the tangible heritage, very important. But we are transiting to marry the two, both the tangible and the intangible heritage. So the intangible heritage is things like our language, our customs, our legends, our myths, our values, what we value, why we value them, the story of ourselves, that's in our psyche that we speak about, our music, our dance, all of these things, that why we do things, how we do it, this kind of thing. And that's part of what we do, the biocultural heritage. So it's a marriage of the two, so that we could have a better picture of who we are, and we can tell our story, what I call our master story, which obviously began on the plantation. So the work of the Archaeology Society is to investigate, to revisit all of these influences and how it impact our lives. The remnants of the Aboriginal culture, the Amerindians, they're there. Some of them more permanent than others. For example, I have a piece of pottery that's less permanent than a stone axe. And you have broken stone axes, but it tells a story. So part of the investigation is to visit these things, visit the petroglyphs, which is petro meaning rock, and glyph means writing or drawing. And that is what we've been focusing for the past month. The Archaeological Society brought experts from Germany and the United States based in Martinique to help us GPS and to map and to photograph in 3D what the Aboriginal people, the Arawaks and the Caribs, some people say the Kalinagos, left us. Everybody's interested in their story to some extent. What we need to do is make it more interesting, make it more accessible. And that is why we are planning archaeological tour on the west coast to visit our petroglyphs. Even little children, we take them to see it, and you could see the joy, you could see the excitement, you could see how they bask in that new thing that they have not seen in books, and if they have seen it in books, they can now handle it and touch it and experience and have an encounter with it. So that is why we do things like archaeological exhibitions, calabash exhibitions. But in this period, what we are promoting is a petroglyph tour, so that St. Lucians could come and see what is lasting, what is the most impressionable marks of the Aboriginal people in this part of the world.
Now you're in the know, so this is what's new, fresh, and exciting with the society. If you feel that you want to be part of it, then go on, answer that call, be part of the movement, be part of the field trip, the expedition that's going to happen. So I know there's going to be more exciting news coming from them, and we will keep you in the know. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to This Morning. I'm Chayla Mendez, and you're here, your family with us here on DBS. Now, knowing our health status is half the battle, and it's always good to be vigilant, to be proactive, and of course, precaution is better than cure. And our friends over at the Ministry of Health think exactly that. And part of Caribbean Wellness Month, which is being observed this month, September, they've had various initiatives, and we were able to catch up with them as they treated the vendors in the Castries Arcade to their free screenings, and of course educating them on why knowing their health status is important.
My name is Heidi Kodra from Bureau of Health, health educator. This is the month for Caribbean Wellness, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Community Health. We're basically bringing healthcare, health education, name it, also screening to the vendors, because we do understand their line of work, and it may not be as possible for them to go to the health center, go to the health center. So basically we're recognizing them, and we basically bring the services to them. We're doing know your numbers. We're doing health education on breast cancer, prostate cancer, diabetes, hypertension. We also have screening blood pressure, blood glucose, and then we're also providing extra services such as PSA for the men, and for the women we're doing pap smears also. Caribbean Wellness, with the focus for this, the theme actually has to do with the workplace. Having a healthy workforce. So basically we're trying to encourage our vendors to understand and see the importance of taking pride in their health, or knowing what your blood pressure is like, what a normal blood pressure is. We do also examinations, how to do a proper breast examination, proper testing of the prostate. Also, we have people asking a whole lot of questions, and we appreciate it because they're actually open, and they ask questions, and they want to know, so what's next for me to do, and what else is there for me to do. So the optimism that we get from them is actually, we enjoy it, we embrace it, and we look forward to working with them even more. This morning the table was filled with men. We had the taxi drivers outside. They came, I did prostate examinations with them. We went through the process of the different stages of cancer. They asked questions as to when should they test, where should they go. And it was really informative. I learned from them, they learned from us, so it was really good. Men in general, when it comes to asking them, even when I asked this morning, when last did you go to your doctor? When last did you have a general checkup? Oh, but we're not sick. And you see, that's where the problem lies. Unless we don't suspect that something is wrong, that we don't go and check. But it's good that we encourage you to get the screening done. With knowledge comes power, and actually knowing what you're about, especially your family history. Some people don't even know whether their grandmother had high blood pressure, whether their father had diabetes. It's important that you know, because knowing actually puts you at risk. And then with the knowledge that you have, you're able to be proactive about it. Get your screening done, know your numbers, and actually say, well, you know what, I did my pap smear, or I did my PSA, and for now everything is okay, instead of just wondering and saying, oh, I hope I'm okay. We plan on continuing doing our community outreach, reaching out to the schools, the businesses also, doing their education. We have a lot of health fairs planned. Soon, October, we have breast cancer, breast awareness coming up. So we have a lot of activities in place to raise awareness and to educate the public.
This is a call to action for everybody. Let us not just only try to make an effort for September because it is Wellness Month, but it should be a wellness year. So let's continue throughout the rest of it to take an interest in our health, our neighbors, our friends, etc., and start that movement. A healthier nation will be a happier one. We'll be back.